Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. Alright, so tonight's card is the Aeon or Adjustment card. And it looks like we have a lot of love. A lot of love, a lot of... I think just unification. I see more than one embrace here. All right. So I want to start up here because this one actually is my favorite. Okay. So we have, it looks like a heart, but we also have two people kind of embracing one another. We have hair, and you know, I think that this feels more like a love of family, to be supported. I really feel just the energy of, well, the Aeon card, but also the energy of this bowl, that there is this movement into a particularly meaningful cycle of life. I think that this is sort of a rebirth for you. Now I see we have somebody who's kind of on their knees, right? And this kind of, you know, almost a posture of forgiveness, of devotion, kind of lowering yourself, not in, listen, just in posture, right? This is symbolic of humbling, right? Accepting your faults. And I think that, you know, this is something that we have to do so that we can step out of the shadow of our own mistakes. In recovery, we call this making amends, not only to other people, but to ourselves. We have to take our own inventory. We have to look at the things that we've done, how we've affected others, how we've affected our own lives, what our behaviors, our actions have done, what they've done within our lives. And this isn't just about recovery. This is just life, baby. All of life. And when we can, in a very honest way, shine a light on our behaviors, especially where there's a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, we live beneath that heavy shadow of things we don't want to look at. Too embarrassing, too, you know, you just wish you could take it back. Or maybe you know, I mean, if you were like me, where especially when I drink, I barely could remember, but I knew it wasn't good. Did not want to look at it. Okay, didn't want people telling me. I didn't want to hear about it. I just wanted to shove it away. Well, when we shine a light on those things, within reason, let me just say, this is a little, let me interject this. Within reason, where there's trauma, where is less, it won't be beneficial. If you do not have somebody who can facilitate, especially with the trauma stuff, I fully recommend having some kind of counseling therapist, somebody qualified to help you through, you know, these kinds of trauma processing things. somebody who is licensed, or, you know, that you trust deeply, right? They know what they're doing. That's not what I'm talking about so much, but these are, you know, the things that we do. We carry it with us. You know, maybe you, you know, said or did something to a family member, you know, they barely remember, but you carry the guilt around with you. You know, I mean, gosh, there's so many, I'm not going to go through a bunch of different hypotheticals, but, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. And so I feel that you have been brave lately. There has been a lot of work being done to get to your truth. I feel that you've had a lot of support in this area, if not from somebody quite literally, like a family member, a good friend, you know, whoever, maybe a, well, for some reason, what came up in my mind is like a minister, a pastor, something like this. But it could totally be yourself supporting you doing this difficult work. It's not easy, but I really believe that when we say these things, when we look at them and we say them, we utter where we've been wrong. You know, it changes something about it. I mean, you know, you might, here's an example, and this is, you know, way out of like what I'm talking about, but it is, I mean, I really do think it is kind of why we go through the ritual of this within court systems. When an offender, when they're being sentenced, they make some kind of statement where they have to apologize, or they don't have to, but they, you know, they make a statement. Hopefully, if they've done something wrong, you know, they will admit that, and they will maybe ask for apology, whatever, or they will apologize, I should say. Maybe will receive forgiveness, maybe not. Who knows? I don't, you know, it doesn't matter what the particulars are, but this may seem like, you know, a procedural thing, right? And it probably is to some degree, but I think that something changes a little bit when somebody takes responsibility for where they have been wrong, where they have trespassed against others, where they have been careless, where, you know, there's been a misstep. You know, we're chained to those things until we take ownership. And I feel like you've done this, and I'm not saying this is anything, I'm just using that as an example, because I always am like, you know, I watch a lot of true crime, and I know I just talked about this in another reading, and shout out to those of you who said, I also watch true crime. You know, so when I see those kind of, you know, the victim impact statements and those, and then the sentence, all these things, the character witnesses and things, you know, that stuff, it gets you all up in your feelings for sure. But I feel like it changes the air of something a little bit. There's a transmutation in the dynamic of the whole situation, for good or for bad. It does, you know, either way. But hello, Pudgy. Okay, come on. You want to come down on my lap? Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, you little boo. Oh. Just almost hiccuped, Pudge. Come on. Thank you, little boy. Okay, so I am proud of you for, you know, really looking at some of the stuff that has gone on in your life that has affected you, That's not easy work. And this does not have to be things that just, that you've done. But I feel like more than anything else, we do live, under the pressure of our own mistakes, or the bad decisions we made. I mean, at least I do, right? And so, I think that you have really made this your goal to alleviate yourself some of those ties, those things that tie you down, hold you down, right? Let go of some of that old stuff. And maybe you have actually made amends. I don't know. But I think that you feel lighter. You feel ready to move into a new era of your life. Okay? And we have this heart here as well. And it does look like two people kind of coming together. And I think that, again, I think that this could be quite literally, somebody you bonded with somebody, but also with yourself, right? The unification of parts of self. And this one is interesting. It reminds me of somebody wearing kind of a like a ceremonial, some kind of ceremonial costume. What is the word? It's not a costume, but an outfit, the attire for a ceremony, and reminds me very much of somebody who walks in between. Okay, and I think that it's interesting because a Libra really I think as I've done more and more readings, my idea of these signs in their different positions have evolved for sure. And I see Libra as being somebody who definitely holds good medicine for their family, for their local, their small community, family, friends, extended family members, your chosen friends group, and so on. And I think that you are somebody who can help transmute energies. Okay, I think that you might be a healer, might be an energy healer, but I think also you are somebody who helps people transition into different parts of their lives. I think that you are somebody who is acutely aware of things like birthdays, those are obvious, but also anniversaries, when people are graduating, when they're having children, when they're getting married, when they're ill, they're getting close to death, all of these kinds of things, or being widowed or something like this as well. And I think that you are a person that really checks on people. You get in there, you're very heartfelt. Okay, you have good advice about life. If you have directly lived it, or if it is something that you have just kind of gathered, or if you are kind of a conduit in some ways. I really think that Libra is kind of slept on sign as far as how spiritually inclined you all really are. I honestly never really thought about it. I have to say, I know a few musicians that I kind of grew up with in my teens and into my 20s and things, that were Libras, and they were wild, just imaginative people. One passed away, and that's why I guess I'm saying it in the past tense, but so I think of Libras, I always thought, oh, okay, they're artists, they're kind of mild-tempered and whatever, just kind of solid people, but the more I have grown to know different Libras, and actually my brother is a Libra, and it makes sense, he is a healer, and hopefully he doesn't mind me saying that. I don't think he watches this, these videos, but you know, he is a beautiful, beautiful soul, and you know, somebody that I admire deeply, deeply. And so I look at this and I think, you know, I really feel like you are coming to this place. You're going into such a place of power. I mean, really taking these natural gifts that you have, that you are cultivating. You are cultivating through refinement of self, putting them into action. If you know this or not, right? But I do think that you have just this quality, this energy people are drawn to. They might not understand you all the time. I think that you are kind of an enigma to some people. I think that people also kind of maybe sometimes experience you as being aloof or standoffish, but I think this is because you live a lot in your mind. You're traveling dimensions quite often. You're very, I think when you were young, people thought you were inclined towards like fantastical thinking, magical thinking, maybe even kind of attention deficit type of stuff. But I think a lot of it is that you just live between worlds a lot. You are in sub-realities. You create your own kind of universes, really. You might enjoy playing games a lot because you're just not that bolted down to base reality. So you're a very dreamy kind of person. And, you know, I think as you have gotten older, you've begun to trust yourself. You have faith in your abilities to kind of navigate the worlds, I should say. You really, you have a lot of power. There's a lot of power there. And possibilities for you to make use of this are endless. I mean, you could apply this to so many things. And so I see you going into a place of really being of assistance, being of service to other people. I think that that's a big deal for you. You know, I think part of this whole ride as well is you've had to learn how to temper yourself, how to keep yourself whole in a lot of ways. I think when you were younger, you would become very depleted because you gave so much of your being away, energies anyways, and you would find yourself kind of run down, maybe, you know, lacking any kind of money or helping people out, you know, not focusing on your own career path all the time. You know, just kind of being that, what's the word? Well, just, you know, just just really a person of medicine, I guess. Not medical medicine, of spiritual medicine. And I just, a bit of a wanderer, maybe. A little bit, I don't know, but I do see, okay, let's look, we see maybe something akin to Santa Muerte or death, Kronos, and we have a bird right here, the black bird, maybe something akin to like Woden, is that how you say it, Woden? And so I do feel like you live very close to death. And this is funny because I just talked about this with Virgos. And, you know, Virgos and Libras are, I feel, very aligned to each other's lives. And I mean, I guess because I have a sibling like this, we're I feel like there can, you know, we can be at odds, but we do live together close to this understanding that death is very, I mean, you know, it walks with us. We walk hand in hand with death every day. From the moment we're born on, right? Acutely aware of this. And so I think that there is a sense of ease in you. I don't think that you have a great fear of death. I think that, you know, do you want to die? Probably not, right? But you know that it will happen, okay? And you're going to make the best of your time that you have here. And you are going to help ease the pain of others who do suffer under that fear. And who kind of, you know, people, we all live close to death. Some of us are aware of it, some of us not. Some of us are aware of it, but we let it rule us. And I think that's when people become very self-destructive. Well, I think that you understand this as well. And I think that you are somebody who doesn't want to see other people hurt in those ways. So you know, you show up and you try to be a voice of reason. You try to live by example. And all of these things are so important. Okay. I also see a person kind of walking, kind of a cat head. And I see a bird, another bird maybe, a fish, kind of maybe a dog, something with 4 legs here. Just really a symbol of somebody who animals are drawn to. And I think this is another thing that's very potent in you, is that animals love you, you love animals. You can talk to them with your eyes. They understand you. They feel your energies deeply, and you are a safe person. Okay, so you have that kind of beautiful aura as well. Here we have, it looks like, I thought, okay, is that a bear? It kind of does look like a bear. So I think that you are that, you know, kind of do your own thing, pretty chill, going about your business, eating, sleeping, you know, loving life. And, you know, if somebody moves against you or your people's, I think that you, that really can come out in you. You are very fiercely protective of your beloved, you know, unit, okay? I don't think it comes out often, but when it does, you are brutal. Absolutely. So, I want to look at this one too. We have 2 people in the embrace again, and I said I'd seen more than one. So we have 2 people holding each other. We have a swan here too. I think if you are not in a relationship now, maybe you are, you will be one of these people in life that finds your soulmate. I mean, one of your soulmates. I believe we have a lot of soulmates. But, you know, you will find somebody that you are entwined with, that you choose every day, and they choose you every day. You will have at least one great love, and that will be, it seems like it will be a long-lasting thing. Maybe that has come to pass, and if so, I'm very sorry for your loss. I know it's hard, you know, to lose somebody you love so greatly. You know, you might be in this relationship now and you are most blessed, right? Enjoy it. And if you are still going about your life, haven't had that yet, maybe, yes. You shall find it at some point, you know. Even if it's never actualized. You know, that's interesting. Sometimes the people we love the most, I mean, you know, obsessive kinds of love, passionate, everlasting, many lifetimes. Sometimes those are the loves that are never realized, you know, and they stay with you. They don't change a lot either, because, you know, sometimes when you're with somebody, the domestic duties, getting, you know, growing with somebody, it doesn't tarnish the love, but it changes it, right? You grow in and out of love, you become different people, you know, decide to fall in love again and again and again and again, and that's a beautiful kind of love. But those loves that you have that are so intense, but they never are, you know, they never come to be, they stay, you know, like those first loves. And I think that's why people have such a you put like a time capsule in your heart, right, of this everlasting pure love, because it never you know, it never became a functional love, right? So anyhow, let's take a look here. We have 2 people, 1, 2, and it looks like we have an apple right here. So the apple is health, and I don't use a lot of like the, you know, common prescribed symbolisms in reading. And some of you who do tasseomancy, tasseography, or you have books or those cards or whatever, you probably see my things and you're like, wait, that's not what that means. But for the apple, I do. So this is health, good health. I think that, you know, your person, this could be the family member I was talking about that is, you are in a supportive, loving relationship. This could be, you know, a romantic love, another embrace of romantic love. Whatever it is, I think that there has been a focus on health, okay? And I think that's going well. I think that it's something the universe is like giving you recognition that, you know, it's good that you are working on whatever it is, even if it is just, you know, nothing has come up, but you are just like, okay, I'm going to get in a few more steps, or, you know, I'm going to do some intentional movement, drink more water, get more sleep, whatever it is, you know, all the things that I like to talk about on here. You know, the universe is saying, good job. You know, and these are, we need to do, when we do this stuff, baby steps, manageable changes. You know, it's all well and good to make huge changes. And if you can do that and, you know, they withstand life, right, and you keep it with you, that's wonderful. Kudos to you. But for the rest of us, a lot of us have to do little baby steps, you know, little things that we change. And that's the only way to keep it going, is to integrate it into your life as, you know, part of how you live, versus like being on a diet or, you know, an exercise trend or whatever. And that's, I don't like to use those words because I don't think that they mean anything really, you know. And but, you know, things like intentional movement, making a decision to do something, to move around to your level of ability. That's something I can get behind, because I can do that. I can, you know, move a little bit more than I did yesterday and make that part of my lifestyle, you know, instead of having these, you know, unreasonable or unrealistic, they're not unreasonable, unrealistic goals for myself. Okay, there's my little ranty rant. All right, so here is our Indigo Sage affirmation cards. Those are the air sign there. And we're just going to go ahead and kind of break it, right? I just did this one. It's beautiful. We're doing a different one. I want to see a different card. I have to see a different card. Okay, this one's pretty. We have a spiral. I learned that these gosh, it's silly. I was calling them, what was I calling it? Fronds. I learned that they're fronds. Fronds? Yeah. So anyways, and we have some water, you know, beautiful. Okay, so receive abundance. The gift of life will unfurl with new vitality within every cell of your being. Yeah, I like that. I think that, you know, this really is in line with the thinking tonight. You know, rebirth. We're working hard. We're letting go of things. You know, renewing self. That's where that lifeblood comes from. That new vitality. Yeah. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, Libra, I'm going to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's almost time for me to go to bed. Ooh. The house got really quiet. It's been so hot. I'm surprised the AC went off finally. So I want to thank you, and I'm going to ask you if you would be so kind as to like the video. It helps us get into the algorithm. The algorithm decides how far these videos reach. And that, I mean, gosh, there's just been a downturn in numbers this last week. So usually I just ask, please, and now I'm going to say, please, like the video. The other engagement that's really helpful is watching the entire reading from the beginning to the end, sharing it on other social media platforms. That one I understand if you don't. I myself am on a social media detox right now. It's not really a detox, but every year for the last, I don't know how many years, but 3, 4, maybe 4, I guess. I've been taking, a few months off, and I had taken like 2 years off, and then I came back, and then I was on for a while. I took some time off. So anyways, I'm to my point where I need to take a step back, focus on myself, and I want to write some poetry this next season. I'm going to read some more books, make some art, cook a lot. It's almost my favorite season, soup season. I love making soups, and baking. So we're going to be focused on that. I will be obviously on YouTube. And that's the other thing. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. I'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, please do, because this is the only place I'm going to have any interaction with people online, really. So I would love to hear from you. I want to get to know every single one of you. But yeah, for real, if you want to leave a comment, do. I read them. I reply back to all of them. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to do that, just because it's a lot. There's a lot of them. And, I want to take my time to have coherent replies back. So anyways, yeah, it's time for bed. Time to get to bed now. All right. I want to thank you, and we will talk again in just a few days.